Hello and welcome back to my channel. I hope you have liked my previous videos, and obviously I'm bringing for you another topic, that is preposition. So today I will show you how these things we use in our language each and every day, and how it can be done in a more easiest way. So I would like to request you to share, subscribe and like my channel so that I can bring such kind of videos every now and then for you. So today, let's begin with preposition. So first of all, what we need to know is what is a preposition. So better we come to that point. So here is a definition, maybe little bit long, but you have to understand this so that you can do it very well. That means preposition in English language, what it indicates a relationship which exists between noun and pronoun to something. That means it is showing some kind of relationship of a noun or a pronoun to something else. When you are using a preposition, it is necessary to have a subject and verb before it and should be followed by a noun. So you have to be very careful, because when you are using it, it is always necessary to have the subject and the verb before it and should be followed by a noun. And the preposition should be followed by a noun. Never followed a preposition with a verb. So this is the basic fact which you have to know. Why? You have to solve questions which are given in your question papers. So you have to know these things in a very in a very brief way, so that you can understand the fact more well. But doing these things, I will classify it into 6 rules, and those rules will help you where to use preposition and how to use it. So now I am going to show you what are the rules by which you can make this thing in a more easy way. The rule number 1, it shows preposition must have an object. So you have to remember that preposition will always have an object which is related to a noun or pronoun which acts as an object. Without object, it will nothing but an adverb. Because you have to remember that preposition will always have an object. Because without an object, it cannot be called a preposition. Because if it does not have an object, it will become an adverb, not a preposition. For example, he is in the kitchen. This is our preposition. And this will be the object. Okay, so you have to remember this thing very carefully. So in every case, our preposition will always have an object. For example, if I take another example, suppose in this case also, it shows that me is an object. So you have to remember these things. So you will always remember that a preposition will always have an object, because otherwise it won't be possible for a preposition to make the sentence correct. If it does not have an object, then how the sentence will appear? Here, this is a preposition, but as you can see, we cannot find any object in it. Therefore, it cannot be called a preposition. It can be called as an adverb. So therefore, here qualifies the after. Therefore, it is a adverb. So you have to remember this thing. So it will not be an preposition. Okay. Next, rule number 2. What is it? Must be placed before the word preposition. If you pronounce it preposition. That means it will always come at first of something. So therefore, as the name says preposition, carefully notice this thing. It comes before something, generally, but not always. Sometimes it may not, but generally it will come at first. It goes before noun or pronoun. Suppose, for example, I put the things in the almirah. Preposition. This is our object. So, these are the things. Always it will come. It is a noun. So, you have to be very careful while doing this, because preposition, as its name signifies, preposition, that means it will come in front. So, it will always come before a noun or a pronoun, and it will be like this. So, follow the example, write this thing down, and you will know how it is being done. So, these are the rule number 1 and rule number 2. Now, I will explain. Now, rule number 3. Within rule number 3, there are 3 classifications. So, what is rule number 3? That shows the pronoun following the preposition should be in object form. That means the pronoun which is following the preposition must be in an object form. The noun or the pronoun following a preposition forms a prepositional object. So, in this case, in rule number 3a, what happens? The noun or the pronoun which is following the preposition, it is called as prepositional object. So, what are prepositional objects? Like me, her, them. If you use the pronouns in this way, they are called prepositional objects. And not the subjective form. These prepositions are not going to be used in its subjective form. What does subjective form represents? Like I, she, they, etc. Like this. So we have to be very careful. While using these preposition, the noun or the pronoun which follows the preposition will be called as will be in the form of prepositional object like me, her and them. Not in the form like I, she, they, etc. Because I, she, they, etc. they are the subjective form. So it cannot be used. For example, the bag was gifted from them. It is our preposition and this is the prepositional object. That means them. We haven't used they. Okay. So you have to remember these things, because whenever you are going to do these things, you have to remember. Otherwise, the sentences will be wrong. So better be careful. What does the prepositional object looks like? Therefore, another example, suppose if I write like this, the secret is enclosed between him and her. Here, see, just like the same, this is the preposition, and see, both of them, they are being used as the prepositional object, not as in their subjective form. So we have to be very careful while doing this. Rule 3 clause B, what it shows? When there is a comparison between a subject or a verb instead of like, we are not comparing the sentence by using the word like. Whereas what we are using as if, as though, or the way. We are not using this. That means we are not comparing both the things by using like. Whereas we are using as if, as though, or the way in this way. So for example, do as she like. So therefore here it is comparing something. Okay. For example, if I give one more example like this, she looks as if she is angry. Here also you can see it is comparing. So you have to remember this thing, write these things down, prepare yourself well, and it will help you a lot. Okay, so go through these things. So rule 3, clause A and B, what they are showing? These things. What is rule number 3, support C? Unless there is a verb involved, do not use as. We have used as to compare something, but when there is a verb, unless there is a verb involved, if there is no verb involved, then we should not use as, because these as signify or it means in the same manner. That means it is comparing, it's same manner. So avoid using as if the verb is not involved. So do not use as when the verb is not involved. For example, I like people, most people try to use good words in English. So you have to remember this thing. Next, rule number 4. Do not ever confuse preposition to with infinitive to. You know that to both represents infinitive and also a preposition also. So you have to be very clear about these things, because to is an infinitive participle. In the sentence it may come to sing, to talk, to walk. These are the things which will show you the infinitive of it. But in preposition like me, to London, to etc. like this. So if to is used as a preposition, then what I am going to write? I am used to swimming. So you have to be very clear about these things. Okay. If I give you another example, I look forward to seeing you. So here also in this sentence, as you can see, it explains the same rule. That means to here is used as a preposition, not as an infinitive. But make it clear one thing, that why I have written to after to seen, not see. Here you will never write see, because that will be wrong. You have to write seen. This is the correct form. So be careful about that. So these are the examples of rule number 4, where you are not going to use to as an infinitive, but you are going to use the sentence must be in such a way that the to represents that it is a preposition. You can see that is rule number 5. What it shows? It shows that some words look like verb, follows the preposition to. A verb cannot be an object of a preposition. That means some words which will look like a verb, but follows the preposition, and it follows the preposition. Which preposition? To. Remember this thing, to. A verb cannot be an object of preposition, and a verb can never be an object of preposition. Like I like to play. So here, as you can see, for example, another example, these bats are for playing. Here also, as you can see, these bats are for playing. So this also is showing the same thing. So remember one thing, play and playing, they are not acting as a verb. Both play and playing, they are not acting as a verb. Both of them not acting as a verb. So you have to be very clear about this. Okay. After that, what rule number 6 shows? Do not confuse in and into. This is a very confusing thing. So in is a different thing, into is another thing. What it means, into used to express a motion forward to something. He drove the car into the city. If I write, for example, he drove the car into the city. So here it expresses a motion. It is expressing a motion. Okay, here it is expressing a motion. But you have to remember, in case of in, it does not show or expresses the motion. What it shows, it wants to indicate a location. Particular location, it indicates that. That means if for example, in case of in, I swam in the pool. So where I am swimming? In the pool. That means it is showing a location. So you have to be very clear that into shows a motion towards something and in shows a location. So whenever you are going to use these things, be careful whether the sentence is showing a motion towards something or the sentence is showing that it is indicating a location. So you have to see these things carefully, note these things and prepare yourself. See that what are the kinds of preposition. It can be classified into three: simple preposition, compound preposition and phrase preposition. Simple, compound, phrase preposition. So within these three things, what are there? So within simple preposition, at, by, for, from, in, of, on, out, through, till, to, up and with. So these are the simple preposition. Write this down or take a screenshot because it will help you a lot. In compound preposition, what are there? About, above, across, along, amidst, among, amongst, around, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, instead, inside, outside, within. So these are the compound preposition. And the third one is phrase preposition. So in phrase preposition, what are these? According to, in accordance with, in addition to, along with, because of, in favor of, in spite of, instead of, and like these and so on. So you have to be very careful that this number one is simple preposition, number two compound preposition, number three phrase preposition, and within them these are the things. Basically the questions which belongs all the three categories. And you have to learn these things, you have to remember these things, and I will request you to take a screenshot or write these things down so that it will help you in future and every now and then when there is questions of preposition. So be careful, write these things down. Show you that which preposition shows the relation. That means the preposition which express some kind of relations. You can categorize it into 9 different points. Relation with place, relation with time, relation with agency, instrumentality, relation with manner, relation cause, reason, purpose, relation possession, relation contrast, concession, relation measure and standard rate or value, and last is inference, motive and source or origin. So these are the relations. Okay, so in case the sentence is showing a relation with place, then which preposition can be used? Across, against, among, behind, below, between, by, from, in, into, on, over, to, under, upon, within, without. So these prepositions, they are showing relations to place. Next, relation to time. In case of relations to time, what it's showing? Those prepositions which can be used after, before, behind, from, in, into, since, with, within, towards, until, till, through, on. In case of number 3, relations with agency or instrumentality. Which prepositions will be used? By, through, with. In case of relations for manner, that means in what way or what kind, it shows by, with. In case of rule number 5, cause, reason, purpose. So in those cases, which prepositions are going to be used? For, of, from, through, with. Number 6, possessions. In case of possessions, by, of, and with. In number 7, contrast concessions, after, for, with. In case of some measure, some standard, rate or value, you are going to use at or by. Last, inference, where some inference is being drawn, motive is being shown, or the source of the thing is being told, or the origin, where from it originated. In such kind of sentences, the relation such kind of sentences, you are going to use from. So these are the things. This is the most important part. Take a screenshot or write this thing down, because it will help you. Whenever you are going for solving prepositional questions related to prepositions, these will help you. If you can remember this thing, it will help you a lot. You write these things down, or you can take a screenshot, so that it will always help you. Because this is the chart which shows in what relations the preposition is being used in the sentence, or how it is being used, or which are the preposition is used. So this is the most important thing. Go through it, learn it by heart, and it will help you. So I hope that I have tried to make you understand how the prepositions is being used in a sentence and in what way they are being used. So I hope that you have liked this video, and please give your precious like and share the video and subscribe my channel, so that it gives me inspiration to bring more and more videos like this for your help, and I will do that for you. So I hope that you will give me your precious like and you will subscribe my channel, so that you can get an update each and every time whenever I am going to make such kind of educational videos. I hope that you are doing great and have a really good day.